Hey guys! Okay, so I went to my surgeon today to have my last drain removed and to have the tape taken off, and everything looks really good, so I'm kind of excited to show you, but I'm also really nervous because I'm about to do something I've never done before, which is stand in front of the entire world in my sports bra, and I'm a little nervous. But, okay, so, oh hey, that's my dog, one of my dogs. So here we go. So this is pretty much the gist of it. Here's like my underwear down here. So overall, the scar's higher than I originally thought it would be. I kind of thought it would be like down here, but it's higher. But that's okay because the way that he was telling me about the way that they closed it up, and I mean you really shouldn't be able to see it at all. For the most part, I think you can see it a little bit. This is pretty much the only stretch marks. That's my other dog. My only stretch marks that are really left. There's a little bit over here, but this is kind of the biggest area. I mean, you can see them. It's not very pretty, but it's not that bad. The scar goes really far. I mean, it goes back to here on this side, and then over here on this side. So, I mean, it's a big scar. It's a big surgery. When I talked to him today, I kind of was like, hey, why do my hips feel like they're huge and ugly, and why do I feel all weird? And he was kind of like, well, first of all, that's not really your hips, and he's right. I mean, like my hips they're down here. So this is still a lot of swelling, and when I wear my binder really tight, I mean, it does come in, so I'm not so, like, wide, I guess. So this should all go down. But overall, I mean, like, things look pretty good. I mean, let's see if I turn my chair, you can actually see. There we go. Now I'm kind of covered. So I mean, like, my waist is really thin. Like I said, this area right here is way wider than I thought it would be, but it's really not as wide as I think it will be. Sorry about that noise. My dog is chewing a bone. But I mean, overall, it looks really good. This is just scabbing, but I mean, really, this scar is so thin, you can barely see it at all. And we talked about like scar therapy and what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use this stuff, ScarGard. I know it's backwards, but it's ScarGard. And it's kind of like a gel that you put on your scars, and it soaks in your skin as opposed to a cream that just sits on top of it. Because my scars along where my pants line are, he figured, you know, it would start to wipe off, so that will dry and actually stay in place. So that's my plan. I don't have to go back for 2 or 3 weeks to kind of see how things are going. I'm going to go buy some new pants this weekend, which is exciting, although he told me not to go crazy because there's a good chance that I will need to buy new pants again in a couple weeks. So all of that is really good and really exciting, and I'm pretty happy with the way things have turned out. Like I said, I feel really wide all of a sudden. Like, I don't know. At first I was like, am I just getting old and like my hips are telling me that I need to have babies or something? But he pointed out, like I said, like that's not really my hips. It's above where my hips are. So, and that area on my sides over here, I mean, it's still rock solid. It's really, really hard. So I know it's still very swollen, and so I'm pretty confident in the way that it will turn out. And even if it's not perfect, it still is such an improvement from what I had before that I'll be more than happy to take it. And just as a little fun fact, I talked to my surgeon today about other incision closures. And I mean, we all know that colorectal surgeons will tell you, I don't care what it looks like as long as you're alive, blah, blah, blah. And as a patient, that's great, but we also tend to care a little bit about what we look like after surgery. And I asked my surgeon today, you know, what the closure was like, you know, and how long it takes versus, you know, like staples or something. And he basically told me that the incision that I have, it took them over an hour to close it because they closed it in 3 levels. There was like the first level, and then they did really, really, really tight stitches, then they did another level, and then they closed it with glue. So there's not even stitches on the surface, not even dissolvable stitches, nothing. And then he said, you know, in other surgeries, they'll put in a few internal stitches and then staple it. So it literally takes about 5 minutes to close. So, I mean, that's part of why we get what we get with colorectal surgeons, but still frustrating, still obnoxious. He did also tell me sort of the stats on my surgery. My mom said that surgery was about 3 hours, and now I know an hour of that was actual closure. He said he took out 2 pounds of skin and also removed about 6 inches of skin, so like about that much. He literally just cut it right off and pulled everything back together. So that's kind of the nitty-gritty, I think. I don't really think there's much else going on. I mean, I'm not really in a whole lot of pain. I walked all across campus yesterday like a crazy woman because my campus is stupid. But overall, everything looks really good. I feel good. Showering is so much better without those drains, those stupid drains. I actually watched him take the drain out this time, and I mean, it's gross. It's weird seeing that huge thing sort of come out of you, but again, it didn't hurt very much, just a little discomfort. But overall, I mean, things are pretty good, and hopefully they'll continue to be pretty good. I start my job next week, and started school last night. So here's to hoping things stay good. Thanks, you guys. Have a good day.